When we include evidence in our essays, we often assume that our evidence is straightforward and speaks for itself. But does it? Will your readers see your evidence the same way you do? To illustrate this, I want to do a quick activity. In one sentence, can you explain the relationship that these three items have to each other? What do a granola bar, hand sanitizer, and a candle all have in common? If you need an extra minute to come up with this relationship, go ahead and pause the video, but otherwise we're going to move on. So, before I go to the next slide, make sure you have the connection these three items have clear in your mind. Alright, so let's go ahead and see what some students have said when I've done this activity in the past. So student A says, they all taste nasty. Student B has a little bit more of a positive view of these items. They say all three are great to have in the event of a natural disaster. The granola bars are food if you're stranded. The hand sanitizer keeps your hands clean so you don't get sick. And the candle gives light in case the power goes out. Student C has a much less positive view of these three items. They say they are not that healthy for your body. The granolas are high in carbs, the hand sanitizer could kill you if ingested, and the candle can give you intestinal obstruction. All right, and then student D was just kind of cheeky. They said they are all on this PowerPoint slide. So you can see that just with these three images, a bunch of people came up with widely different interpretations of what these three images had in common. So what does this mean for your essay? Imagine that these three images are maybe a quote or a statistic that you want to put in your paper. Now, to you, these things taste nasty, but to your reader, their first impression is this is useful. So when you and your reader have this disconnect, it can create a lot of confusion. And your reader's going to think, why are they telling me this? I don't understand why this quote's here or why this statistic is here. So to avoid this confusion, you always need to interpret your evidence for your reader, okay? So how can you do this? The easy way is just to make sure that before or after each piece of evidence, a quote or statistic, that you explain what it means to you. And you can do it by using some of these sentences. You can say something like, blank, my evidence matters because of blank. Or it is important to see blank because of blank. Now, if you have a quote or you're using someone's direct words, you might want to say, one important implication of what this author's statement or research is that blank. You could also say, in making this statement, the author is saying blank. So all of these are ways to interpret, explain, or analyze your evidence, which you need to do. So as you're going through your next paper, make sure that as you're proofreading, you're pausing to make sure that you are explaining all of your evidence.